Hello, I'm old Mr. Kent, out on my morning trike ride. 82 years old, just in case you were wondering. And so this morning I got up extra early while the sun is low on the horizon because I want to, I've been forgetting. I should have taught this little lesson years ago, a couple years ago, because I learned it when I was riding my Harleys back many years ago. And so I wanted the sun to be low, so I got up real early. And I did this. Yeah, I got up early yesterday, but it was cloudy. You don't have many shadows when it's cloudy, and I need shadows to show you what I'm going to show you here. So we'll come around here and start heading down this road, and we'll get around the corner here. And as you can see my shadow way out in front of me there. Okay? This is a principle that I learned years ago when I was riding my motorcycle. And I had a friend who was riding along, and somebody pulled out in front of him, and he ran into them and broke his leg and destroyed his motorcycle. It was a really nice Goldwing. So the rule is, if you're riding along on your trike or your e-bike or on a motorcycle or even in your car, and you can see if you can see your shadow out in front of you, that means that the people coming towards you or pulling out from a side road are blinded by the sun. So let's just turn around and see what it's like. Okay, so here we go. This is what people see when they're coming at you, when you can see your shadow. It's usually in the early morning or late afternoon, and it's a very dangerous time to be out on the road unless you're super careful and aware of the fact that people can't see you. All right, so so I guess that shows you the reason right there. Is kind of blinding. And so since we're on this road, let's go down this way. And so the rest of the video is not going to be as good audio or video quality as I like, because the sun's so low. But I wanted to show you that if you can see your shadow and you're riding along, even if it's just up really short, I took the extreme example, but if it's just out in front of you, just a few feet, this principle is still there. And, we're counting on people to be able to see, and there's people like me who don't have very good eyesight anymore. So if you can see your shadow, be real careful, because the folks coming towards you can't see you nearly as well. Okay? So that's the whole reason for this video. I wanted to point that out, but I've got another subject I'll talk about, and then it'll just be a shorter video than usual. This is August. Pardon me. It's the end of August, and 2024, and we're probably at the peak or beyond the peak of our monsoon season here in Arizona. And that season, they say it runs everywhere from May till September. And we have experienced monsoon storms during all those times. But just recently, a few days ago, we had a monsoon storm. And a couple of things I wanted to point out. First of all, my wife opened the door while it was, well, first of all, we had a really thick dust storm, and then it changed to a rainstorm, and my wife, she opened up the front door of our house and took a little video, which I'll put up while we're telling the story. Anyway, she took a video of how hard the wind was blowing and how heavy the rain was. And that's the monsoon season type of storm that we have. And so so it's no fun when that happens, because well, like a lot of people lost their chicken coops. The storm blew things away. A lot of people lost their I can't think of it now. What was that? Something hit my foot. Huh. Well, it flew up and hit my foot. I hope it didn't flatten the tire. Okay, anyway, trampolines, they're always susceptible to the wind, so people get up, or after the storm, they look out and their trampolines in the neighbor's yard or a half a mile away. It depends on the situation, of course. But, excuse me. So anyway, so we had that, and then, of course, it does a lot of damage. One thing that my son, I'll tell you more about our storms. I guess I'll talk about that now. When my son was building our now I'm facing into the sun. When my son was building our little bungalow for us, see, can't see anything. There we go. Going up a little incline. Got to put it in pedal assist 2. When he was building that, he had it all done, had the drywall done on the inside and everything, and had the roof on, but no roofing, just the OSB board. And so we had this monsoon storm came along, and was in the night. We were living in the fifth wheel trailer at the time, waiting for him to get the little bungalow built. And so the fifth wheel trailer was rocking back and forth. This was one of those really, really bad ones. And it went on and on and on for at least a half an hour. And it wasn't a good feeling being inside of that trailer while it rocked back and forth. But then when it was all said and done, the next morning, he had put all the roofing down to match the roof on his shop, and it wasn't finished. And so he didn't have everything screwed down tight, and ends up it just tore it up, and I got a picture of that. So then he thought, well, that's not going to work. So he put on what you call roll-on roofing. This was the worst year, I guess, for monsoon storms, because once he got the roll-on roofing done, it was nice and everything, but we had another storm, and it just lifted up that roll-on roofing and pulled it off of the roof and laid it over upside down on the ground. It just, the whole one piece just flipped over and went on the ground. So that didn't work. So then he put on some acrylic roofing material, and that that wasn't going to blow away, and it worked pretty well, except for when the rains came. Well, then there were several leaks, and so we contacted a company that puts on foam roofing, and they sent a guy out, and he patched up all the leaks, and they were backed up because of all the storms. They couldn't put a roof on until they got caught up to us, and so but they sent a guy out, and he patched up where all the leaks were. Came out twice and did that. So that was Arizona's finest roofing, and they did a really nice job of putting that foam roofing. Has a 10-year warranty, so we're good for another few years yet. Anyway, so that was our roofing problem. But just recently, my son, of course, he had these canopies that he sets up to work under the sun, to be in the shade working on these cars, and and he just got a new one, and he even had Gunny Built Garage stamped on the side of it and everything, so he could take it to auto shows and things like that, and sit in the shade while people come by and look at his work. Anyway, so I was looking at it one day, and I said, it says Gunny Built garage. You should have some kind of a car part on each corner to hold the thing on the ground when the wind blows. And so, as it turns out, he had several coil springs, and he put the coil spring, he put the leg into a coil spring and then tied it with a strap to the roofing section. Good morning. And in this recent storm that we had, it was just sitting there, just the wind was whipping on it and everything, but it didn't move. None of those legs moved, because I was watching it out the window at about the same time my wife was making videos out the door. So anyway, that's our monsoon season stories. The first couple of years we lived in town, so when you're in the middle of a HOA, the monsoon winds don't get you much. But where we live now, the monsoon wind just comes from the east, comes across that big field and hits us head on. And so we have to deal with that. And so anyway, that's the story of the monsoon. And as you can see real quickly, you can see my shadow out in front of me, and that means people coming the other direction are blinded by the sun, and makes it real difficult for them to see it. This holds true of whether you're on a bike or trike or in your car even. So anyway, just a little lesson there on being careful when you're out riding. So with that, I think that's all that I've intended to talk about. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. Let me think for a second here. No, I think that's it. So, all right. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching this video, and God bless.